Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Social Marketing. I'm your host today, Eric Hammond with the Orange Stack. We are talking about Instagram today and how to sell on Instagram. I know that social media is a great place to communicate with your followers, your clients, people that know, like, and trust you, and it's also a great way to find new people to follow with and connect with, and just that's why it's social. That's why it's social interaction, right? So we're going to talk about selling things on Instagram. Obviously, if you have we'll call it a low ticket item, something that's under $1,000 versus a high ticket item like a piece of real estate that could be $1 million, there's a difference on how you market on social media, but we're trying to cover kind of everything, generally speaking, on how to really just find an audience and get them on Instagram, and then how to communicate with them and get the sell to them towards the end. So let's just jump right into it. The first one is really how to get seen on Instagram, right? So that really depends on your audience. If you look at a lot of people, some people have thousands of followers. I mean, tens of thousands of followers, if not millions of followers. Currently, there's about 500 million people on Instagram every single month. But who you talk to and who you communicate with is really important. Let's just take two examples. Let's say you have a following of 2,000 followers and somebody else has a following of 200 followers. 10 times bigger on the 2,000 side. But let's talk about now the engagement and what happens. If you post something and you get 20 likes on both of those profiles, the profile that has 200 followers and gets 20 likes versus the profile that has 2,000 followers and gets 20 likes, this one's not going to do as well as the one that has 200 followers, because the percentage of people engaging based on the number of followers is higher on the smaller amount of followers. So the way that the algorithm works on Instagram, which is not getting too detailed on this, is that it basically looks at your relevance and saying, if you've got only 200 followers and 10% of the people, 20 of them, follow you and do something with you and interact with you and like and share and comment on your posts, you're doing something that Instagram likes. You're getting engagement. And the person that has the profile with 2,000 followers only has a 1% interaction. It's going to not degrade them, but downplay, I think, the value of that audience, knowing that they're probably not going to get as much interaction from their Facebook audience. So rather than going out there and having a huge goal to get in front of as many people as possible and trying to just get every like and follower that you can, make it more strategic. Try to plan your audiences in a more strategic pattern so that you get people who actually want to engage with you and your brand. So let's talk about real estate, because we do that a lot around here. There's no point in talking to people who are outside of your community if you don't get a lot of move-in buyers. Meaning that, most of real estate happens within like a 20 to 50 mile radius. If you've got people across the country or in another country, for example, that are following you, that's not going to help, because they may like a kitchen here or there. They might like a post that you have or something that's interesting, but they're not going to be asking questions. They're not going to be asking, when can I come see that house, right? They're going to be a different audience. So you got to interact with the audience that makes sense for you, and probably keep it pretty geographic. Now, if you sell a product that you can ship anywhere in the world, that's a whole different story, but you want to make it specific to that product. If you're selling gum, target people that are interested in buying gum. Don't target people who aren't buying gum, if that makes sense. So keep your audience pretty specific. So the next part is interacting with your audience. You've got to communicate with them, you've got to talk to them, you've got to give them stuff that they like. So one person I was reading about talked about their engagement on Instagram, and it said that every person that comes and follows their brand, she spends about 5 to 10 minutes every morning and going and looking up these new followers and posting something on their wall, or interacting with their pictures, giving them a thumbs up or a like or whatever it is on Instagram that you do. Sorry, I get my terminology mixed up on Instagram and Facebook, but you get the idea. You're going to them and saying, hey, thanks for following me. That's a cool picture, or I like that, or I like what you did here. That's great. That's how you get the back and forth conversation going. Social media is not just a spread out kind of methodology. It's more of, you got to give and take. You got to get some, you got to give some. That's the kind of interaction that you're looking to go with. So the next part of this is getting found, and that's really through hashtags. Instagram's probably the best way of getting an audience for somebody that you don't know organically, meaning that if I'm talking about real estate, I can post a picture of an amazing kitchen or a backyard or a view or something like that, and I can put hashtag real estate and hashtag San Diego real estate, because I live in San Diego, hashtag are you moving in, things that talk about my industry. And It's going to help you get engagement because people are going to be searching those hashtags of real estate or San Diego real estate or specific towns, and you're going to get found that way. So some hashtags will have a lot of views, some hashtags will have a small amount of views, but hashtags, using them is a great way to build your brand. We're going to talk about a little bit more about how to use specific hashtags in your marketing, but it's a great way to be found. The next step is to create a sales presence. So this really goes back to your profile and how you describe yourself and what it is that you do. You know, when you click on your Instagram account, you have a short amount of characters being able to talk about who you are and what you do. It's really your 15 seconds to get someone's attention. So they're going to be scrolling, they're going to be looking for keywords, you know, saying, hey, I'm a guy that loves the beach, I love sunsets, I like going out to Italian restaurants for dinner. That's not going to help me build my brand. I've got to talk about what it is that I do to bring value to you. So for me and my brand, we specialize in social media marketing. So if I said social media expert providing tips and strategies on helping real estate agents get more value out of their online presence, that's going to provide you a whole lot more information than me telling you what kind of food I like to eat. Granted, if you came and visited me and you took me out to an Italian restaurant, I would love it. But when you're searching for me and you find me and you got that quick 15 seconds to see who I am and validate me as a business person, you want to know what it is that I'm going to be able to provide to you. So think about that. Think about the value that you're going to give to your clients. You know, back to real estate for a second. Am I going to help you find that perfect home? Am I going to help you negotiate to get the best price or the best terms? Am I going to be able to close you quicker than any other real estate agent on a sale, so that you're not, you know, on the market for 3 to 6 months? You're down to 45 days or less, hopefully. So what's the value that you can put into your profile that helps separate you from the rest and helps talk about what your business or your brand does specifically? Okay, this next one, number 3, is kind of a big one, but it's really just paying attention to what you put on Instagram, paying attention to the images and the content that you put out there. You know, Instagram is all about photos and videos. It's not a text-based platform really like Twitter and those kind of platforms. You really only have a few characters to really even describe your photo. So what you put in that image tells the whole story, right? A picture's worth 1,000 words. So play off the image that you use. You know, having naturally lit items helps. If you have, you know, we have studio lighting in this situation, but having natural light to light up a kitchen or light up the house, even at night, if you can have a cool image with the elements of life, can help too. But bringing in a lot of studio lights, I've seen a lot of bathroom pictures where people bring in all these floodlights and drown it from every single way, and it just kind of kills the mood. So being able to take natural pictures can be a huge one. Having colors that pop, you know, we keep our background white here, and I try to wear something that kind of stands out. This one's pretty toned down today, but you get the point. I'm doing something that's going to get you to focus on what I'm trying to get. So let's say you take a picture of a kitchen and it's all white, and maybe you have a red bowl in the corner, or you have some amazing flowers, or you have a really interesting countertop, or something that's going to get their attention. You're trying to drive attention from a busy picture to something specific. So think about how you can get your colors to pop and how you can better light your photos. You know, that's really what Instagram was about, is helping you to become a professional photographer and how to, you know, work with the filters and everything that you have on there to get a better looking picture. So the next one is to test your imagery. So maybe you have pictures of kitchens and backyards and living rooms and master bedrooms and master suites. What does your audience want to know about? You know, are they interested in the view? Are they interested in the drone shot? Are they interested in the front door? Are they interested in the counter height picture? Are they interested in looking down? Are they interested in how the kitchen works and functions? Are they interested in you holding the camera and giving them a tour of that house? You know, what's going to work for your audience? Everyone's different. Everyone has a different audience, and who you speak to and how you speak to them matters. So test your images. You know, do A/B testing depending on how often you post and what you put out there. But try different things. You know, over a course of 2 weeks, try a couple different ideas. See which one gets more interaction. See which one gets more likes. That's going to help you identify which type of imagery your audience wants to know about. Next one is to, going back to hashtags for a second, you have the opportunity to post up to 30 hashtags. Now it seems like a lot, but you're limited to 30 hashtags. Some people use all 30. I definitely recommend using all 30, because again, it's your searching ability. If I put real estate and I'm searching for real estate, I'm going to be found. Real estate is a well overused hashtag, so I don't recommend that broad of a hashtag, But if I had SD real estate or CA real estate for California, or San Diego real estate, or a specific city that I was in, that's what you're looking for. So you want to use 5 pretty popular hashtags, and every time that you start spelling out your hashtag, it'll tell you how many posts there are about that hashtag, so that'll tell you how big it is. If you're in the million range, that's a pretty popular hashtag. So use 5 popular hashtags. The next one is to use 5 geographic specific hashtags. So again, California real estate, or San Diego real estate, or the town that I'm in real estate, or maybe even the neighborhood or the track of real estate that I'm in. Maybe you put single level homes, right? So that's talking about more specifically the industry that I'm in. And that's what the other 20 are for. So you got 5 that are popular, 5 that are geographic, and the other 20 are going to be based on your industry. So single level homes are cool, or home with a view, or country living, whatever it is. So find your hashtag, again, create something that's unique about your business that helps identify what you do and who you are, so that you can use that hashtag in everything that you do, and all your postcards and all your print on your website. Build a brand around a hashtag. That can be huge for you. But again, just to recap, 5 popular hashtags, 5 geographic hashtags, and 20 hashtags that surround your industry and your business and everything that you're trying to sell there. So break it up, find ones that have bigger hits than others. You can see what happens with the search results and just make it work. That's the beauty of Instagram, is the hashtag. So moving on to the next one is the book. I love to reference this book. It's Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. He does an awesome job of talking about providing value. Things that are going to help you. So value, value, value. And then right hook is really the ask. So if I give you value 3 to 1 on my ask, you're going to love working with me. So, okay, backing up again, everything that we try to do in these kind of talk show interview type videos is basically giving you guys value to help you build your business on social media. I don't ask for the sell ever, because I'm just trying to help you in your business and see what you do. And when you're ready to work with me, you're going to ask to work with me because you know what I'm talking about. So if you're in real estate, try to provide as much value as you can to your clients, knowing that you're going to solve their problem, knowing that you understand them and you're able to speak directly to the things that they need to know about. Is their home too small and they need more space because they had more kids? Maybe you're working with move-up families. Did I buy too big of a house back in the day and all my kids have moved out and now I'm downsizing? Maybe that's your demographic. Is the area that I sell a primarily old home, built in the 60s, never updated, all the kitchens are out of date? Maybe I can help my clients get in touch with a contractor who can help remodel their kitchen and make better use of the space. Whatever it is, try to find value for your clients so that they trust you. And that way, hopefully you never have to go ask for the sale. But when you do, it's not like you just closed them on the first time you met them, that you actually gave them enough value and you said, hey, are you ready to meet with a contractor? Would you like to talk about how we can fix up this home and help it become more useful for you, right? So think of that, jab, 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 right hook. It's a great book. Go check it out if you haven't done that already. The next one is to really test your posting frequency. So some people are on the mindset of post 20 to 40 times a day. Some people are on the mindset of posting once a week. You got to define what works for you. I've been on both sides of the fence to see what works, and it's kind of a happy medium for us. We try to post about once to twice a day depending on the content and what it is that we're sharing. So we'll do a couple blog type of things like this throughout the week. We'll do a couple comments or tips or strategies that you can use throughout the week, but I've tested it back and forth and I know what works. So find out what works for you. If posting something once a day is the sweet spot, find that out quickly. If posting 4 times a day in different photos and pictures, same thing, houses, whatever it is that you're going to post, 4 times a day makes sense, maybe that's the route to go. So test, 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 always be testing. I talk about that a lot around here, but try again for 2 weeks one way, try again for 2 weeks another way, see what works out better for you in the long run, but try to figure that out. I think that, the frequency of your posting should be consistent. If you're posting a ton one week and not very much the other week and you're going back and forth too much, it's going to throw off your audience. So keep it consistent. So that could be huge for you. The last one in this section is really to, post organic content as much as you can and then boost the selling opportunity, if that makes sense. So back to the jab, 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 right hook book. If you post organically all your value and you put it out there and you let people find you natively, and then you pay Instagram or Facebook to put your content out there when you're trying to sell something like a house or you're trying to sell some value that you have, it makes sense to put money towards the sale because you're going to reach a bigger audience. You know, if you want to budget a couple dollars here and there just to find that audience at first when you're first starting out, that may make sense. You may spend $10 a week here and there just to get an audience, to find out who you are. But the more organic you can do it, the better. The more patience you have, the better. If you're in too big of a rush to build that audience, like I said in the beginning, you're going to get the wrong audience. You're going to have the wrong followers, and you want people to engage with you and, you know, share your content as much as possible, and that's only going to happen when you're organic. So save your dollars for the sale. Again, put out that value, interview contractors, talk about what homes are doing in your neighborhood, talk about how you can help your clients the best that you can. And then when you have an open house, spend some money to drive traffic to it. When you have a new listing that's amazing, spend some money to reach some new eyeballs that have never heard from you before. And when they come back and research you and look at you, they're going to see all the other content that you put out there organically, and that's going to resonate with them and help them trust you and know that you know what you're talking about. Okay, the last one of this section is really asking for the sale. Right? So you have to ask for it eventually. Hopefully it's after you've given a lot of value and you've provided enough content that your clients know that you're not just always asking for the sale, but you're giving as much as you possibly can. So sell by giving value. That's really one of the big tips under this section, is provide enough value that you, again, are helping your clients, that they know you know how to speak to them. Again, if I knew that all my clients were downsizing and saying, all right, I'm 7 years old, all my kids are gone, I need a 1 or 2 bedroom house, a townhouse, a condo, whatever it is, and I spoke directly to them, my audience would appreciate it. If I'm all over the place talking about moving up and moving down and take advantage of this market because we're down and take advantage of this market because we're up, they're just going to think that you're trying to sell them on everything. But if you specifically spoke to them and how they're going to achieve the most amount of money by working with you, and the things that you're going to do strategically, and the value that you're going to give them, and then when it's time and ready for them to make that move, you're there for them, that's when the value comes in, and they're going to understand that you know that, and you know your market, and you know when it makes sense for them. You know, I told a story a little while ago in one of these videos. You got to make a almost an imaginary friend in your content. So I call my guy Social Steve. Social Steve is 40 years old, and I know everything about him. He's just a made-up figure, but it's basically who I try to make my content for. He's you. You're Social Steve. He's the audience that I speak to in everything that I do, because I know that that's my ideal client. So come up with a nickname for your audience. Know how to speak to them. Know what value you're going to provide to them. And you know, when you make that video, speak to them directly, and they're going to understand that you're speaking to them, and it's going to resonate with them a little bit more. So just to recap again, you got to provide value up front. You have to know your audience. You need to know how to speak to them, what they want to hear about, and how to drive them towards that sell at the end. Remember, jab, 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 right hook. Give the value, come and ask for the sell later, be patient about it, keep putting out content. I think that that's the biggest winner on social media right now, is providing as much content as you can, and then coming in and nicely asking for the sell when you have something to offer. So my offer today, my ask, is you schedule a one-to-one with us. We offer a free consultation where you can ask us anything about your marketing, see how you're doing, let us give you a quick review of what your social media looks like and how we can help you do better. Again, we provide a lot of free strategies. Check out our library of information on our social marketing videos, and hopefully this helps you. So until next time, we do this show every week in our newsletter. I will catch you next time, and thanks again for following. See you then.